Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Just Say Something podcast. My name is Philip Clark, and I'm the CEO here at Just Say Something, and I want to welcome you to today's episode. Before we get started, I want to remind you to comment, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already to make sure that you can find our podcast and have access to it anytime you need it or to be able to share it. So today we have Kimberly Tissot with us from Able, South Carolina. So Kimberly, welcome.
Thank you.
So Able, South Carolina, tell our listeners what that means.
Yeah, so Able South Carolina, we are a disability-led organization, and we do anything really related to disability. And so first we do equip people with the skills to be as independent as possible. And when we say independent, we mean just controlling their lives.
Okay.
Not necessarily having to move out on your own. That sometimes, is not always feasible. But what we want is we want to make sure people have a choice and have control over their lives. We also educate the community about the ADA, Rehabilitation Act of 1973, disability awareness. We do a lot of accessibility consultation, but we want to make South Carolina a better place for people with disabilities. And so that comes with that education piece. And then we also do a lot of advocacy. We have been able to change state laws.
Oh, wonderful.
Pretty progressive laws as well to protect the rights of people with disabilities within employment, within parenting, but there's so many barriers for the disability community. But we do a little bit of everything. We're a team that serves the entire state. We've got two offices, one in Columbia and one in Greenville, and we go out to people so they don't have to come to us. We will go to them, which really helps with that transportation barrier.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, disability means a lot of different things to different people.
Yes.
So what does disability mean for Able, South Carolina?
So disability, we actually follow the definition of the Americans with Disabilities Act. A lot of people think the definition for disabilities under Social Security, that just gives you money if you're unable to work at that moment.
Right.
So that's not the definition, but that definition is actually, you have to have one or more major life activities impacted. So there's not a list of disabilities, but if you have major life activities, which could be walking, seeing, eating, even controlling your metabolism. There's just so many different disabilities, but it goes, cancer is a disability, diabetes is a disability, but also we serve people with physical, psychiatric disabilities. That's also one that people don't always recognize, that mental health is also a disability.
Well, we don't do a good job of that because we don't recognize mental health as being an issue.
That's correct.
But that's good to know. Disabilities mean so many things.
So many things.
And so, say I have cancer, or I have a disability. What are some of the programs that Able South Carolina is able to provide me to get whatever assistance and help that I need?
And so our services are a little bit different. You come to us and you let us know what you need, and we will walk you through that process. We do have some specific programs to work on making sure that you know your rights, making sure that you have the skills you need. But we also do a lot of navigation with even adjustment to disability. So when somebody gets a new disability and acquires it, we help them with that, because sometimes people go through a grieving process.
Right.
And so we are there with them to show them that disability is, you're okay, you're going to be fine. And we really walk them through that. But we do so much. I am just so proud to be able to see the impact that our organization has every single day, because people will walk through our doors, or they'll roll in our doors, or give us a call, and they are so afraid to just ask for help.
Right.
And that is not anything anyone should be afraid of. We're here.
I know I had someone reach out to me not long ago, and their brother was going to lose a leg. And so he needed to have his house upfitted, and a ramp and all those kind of things. And they're like,
and And we
Who
would
do,
help with that too.
and so I gave them, I need to follow up because I gave them y'all's information. So I need to
Yeah,
follow up on that and see.
absolutely. Please.
Yeah. So y'all do things like that.
We do. We do. We help people get back to work or go to work for the first time. We help people being able to speak for themselves because
Mhm.
that, believe it or not, that's an issue in the disability community. People like to speak for us. And that's something that we have to be very careful about, that we can speak for ourselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so we just, we do so much. And there's a whole list of things that we do, but it's anything related to independent living. So think about being a parent. We help parents with disabilities navigate that. There used to be a law in South Carolina that actually said um, if a parent has a disability, they can actually lose custody
Oh,
of their child. But we reversed that. So we helped
wonderful.
create legislation to really protect the rights of parents with disabilities. So
Fantastic.
just everything. And we learn from consumers every day to understand what they're going through. And
Mhm.
that's really what we wrap our services around, to what is actually happening in the real world for folks with disabilities.
Is there an age limit or
No.
how young and how
We
old?
serve birth to all the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think we had our oldest consumer was 102.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if you're housed in Columbia and Greenville, how do people, so for one thing, how do people get in touch with you or how do people find you, especially if they're not in one of those two locations?
Yeah. So we're really close to the nonprofit world, and also any agency that serves people with disabilities. They know who we are,
Okay.
but we're always trying to get that name out. And even non-disabled people should know about our organization.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, if we all live long enough, we're going to acquire a disability as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so folks that are listening, and I'm actually a cancer survivor, a pediatric cancer survivor, and I have one leg, and that happened at the age of 2.
Oh, wow.
Did not plan that out.
No.
But this is how I've adapted my entire life and live a very independent life.
And I can see that here with us sitting across from each other.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
So as part of that, because I know it's got to be very difficult for us, especially for kids, but then also for their parents of, oh, heck, now what? What do I do?
Yep.
Those kind of things. What's some advice out there that you can provide for those parents who are wondering, what can I do that will best suit my child?
Yeah. And I'll say I'm a parent as well. I'm a parent of a young man, a 16-year-old, so a very young man, but he has an intellectual disability. And so, I use my disability experience also with him to really help encourage him to speak up for himself. But all I would say is treat them just like you would treat any other child. There's going to be barriers, but learn disability rights. People with disabilities are so protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act. There's IDEA for students with disabilities. There's Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. We are very protected. So discrimination should not be happening. So I do know I always prepare parents to get that advocacy hat on, because you will be fighting for your child until they can fight for themselves.
Yeah, that's, whether they're disabled or not, we work with families and kids to be able to express themselves and to be their own voice and their best champion for themselves.
Yes. And growing up with a disability too, you do feel very othered. You feel like you don't belong in this world. And that's something that we're trying to change as well, because everybody should feel like they belong. They have a place. People with disabilities can work. People with disabilities can go to school. We can have families. And that's the perception. That's the perception that we run into, that people think that we can't. And so that is also what we're trying to change. We have needs assessments every 3 years of the community. And they always say that the number one barrier in South Carolina is what others think of them.
Oh, wow.
So
talk about stigma.
So, significant stigma.
That's So, as we think about this and as we look at this as a community, what are some of the activities or things that Able South Carolina does to educate the community
Oh, yeah.
about their services?
Absolutely. So we go out. I mean, we do so much outreach. So if anybody needs any outreach, we'll be happy to come in and do an in service. And you, even if you don't think that you touch somebody with a disability, if you're not serving them, you do serve them. You just might not know that they have a disability. And so
Right.
we really prepare businesses and agencies to really learn how to be welcoming for people with disabilities, so that they're not having any barriers with accessing their services. Or we're also customers, so we also
Hmm.
need access to stores. We're taxpayers, and so
Right.
we have the right to have access just like everybody else. And
Hmm.
so, but we have so many events. We do Advocacy Day for Access and Independence, which is a great day up at the State House. We bring people of all types of different disabilities to come together, and we fight to unlock the barriers. And so the barriers of for people with disabilities are a lot. It's obviously that perception,
Hmm.
but healthcare, we're having a crisis right now with Medicaid. And that is something that we're scared about. We're
Right.
already seeing people die because of decrease in funding. And in South Carolina, our Medicaid system isn't the strongest at all. And with less money to be able to provide, folks are struggling. And so we're really trying to make sure that that is funded in South
Hmm.
Carolina.
Hmm.
But we really work on any of those barriers. So transportation is always a barrier.
Right.
Our state can do so much better with public transportation and making it accessible for people with disabilities. If you can't get to work, you're probably not going to go to work.
Right.
And so that is something that we also advocate for. But we have three events that's coming up for youth.
Oh, okay.
So our first event this summer is actually starts next week,
Oh.
and it's at the University of South Carolina, the College of Nursing,
Hmm.
and we're trying to get more people with disabilities in the field of nursing, because that has been one field that there's research that shows that when people with disabilities are in that environment and
Hmm.
are in that field, they actually provide better services to their patients, and they have more empathy.
Empathy. It comes
And
back to empathy.
yeah, and they understand what they're going through. And so we're trying to get people more in the field. And so youth will be coming if they're interested in nursing. They will be coming to a summer camp
Okay.
for a couple of days and learning about that possibility about
What
becoming a
age
nurse.
group is that for?
So that is people who just graduated
Okay.
and beyond.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we have the Youth Leadership Forum that's actually going to be happening at Lander University. And that is a 3-day, 3-night event that we do to prepare youth with disabilities to be leaders. And so we teach them
Love that.
how to be proud of themselves with their
Mhm.
disability. We
Mhm.
teach them to speak up for themselves. We teach them about their rights, because this isn't taught in schools.
Right.
Like we didn't, I mean, when I graduated, I had no idea about the ADA
Mhm.
and the Rehab Act. So we were, we make sure that youth understand that. But most of all, we make sure that these youth are leaving, our event and feeling confident in themselves. Because again, that perception can push people down so hard.
Right.
And especially when you're at that teenage years.
Teenage years are tough anyway,
Yes.
but add a disability onto it, and
Yes.
that raises the bar
Oh, yes.
dramatically.
Yes.
Because I know with our youth summit and our lesson, it's about teaching kids those skills that they're not getting anywhere else.
Yes.
Again, so they can become their best own advocate
Right.
and don't need someone else to stand up and
So
doing it
important.
in a nonviolent way.
Yes, it's so important. And I
Right.
mean, this is our future,
Right.
so that's very important. And then that next event is called Equip Leadership Series. And this is all year, but we have a specific summer series that lasts a week long with youth with disabilities. And it's all day. So they come and are learning those skills as well.
Mhm.
But it's a little bit more spread out than youth leadership forums.
Right.
But they can stay connected with us. And of course, our doors are open for anybody with a disability. We do not turn people away. We do not need verification. It's really all based off of self-disclosure.
Oh,
And
okay.
the neat thing about us is that we are mandated by law to be here. So out of the Rehabilitation Act, We are mandated to be run and operated by people with disabilities, which is really cool, to be able to serve the disability community and make change within the states.
So where does your funding come from?
All over the place. So we have 34 grants, which is very fun. It's amazing with reporting, but we've got a great team that helps us with that. Some of our funding does come from the federal government. So we do get a little bit, but we're also required to diversify our funding. So we actually have to show evidence that we are going out, getting grants, doing fee for services and that type of thing. The government basically says, we know we don't give you enough money, but you're mandated to do all of these services. So you got to go find your money in your own
Sounds
states.
familiar.
Yeah, right.
Especially with our friends at 988 and Mental Health America.
Yes.
That's
it's tough. It's tough.
Well, and I know these days, especially being in the nonprofit world, that funds are going away at a much quicker pace than they're coming in.
Yeah, I've never, I've been the CEO for 16 years. I've never seen it like this. It is very scary, but on top of it is also loss of services for the people that we serve. And so we're serving a lot more with less right now because there's just so much need.
The need is so great.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what I always say, and I was at a meeting earlier today, and the issues that our families face are bigger than any one entity can provide by itself.
None of us can do it by ourselves.
Right. And so we've got to partner and take our piece of that pie and help build that for those individuals and for the families that are in need. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that?
So they just give us a call, or they can also go on the website. It's able-sc.org. They can give us a call, but whoever picks up the phone will also be a person with a disability. So they will automatically talk to somebody who understands them, which is great.
Okay. And what's the phone number?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. Okay. So it's 803-779-5121.
Oh, I know for us, our phone number's been the same since 1992. So it's implanted like my social security number.
We have a couple phone numbers, so that's the thing.
Gotcha. So if there's one thing that you would like to say to our listeners that you haven't said, or a question that I haven't asked you yet, what would that one thing be?
I would say come learn from the disability community. If you're wanting to be involved with people with disabilities, work in the field, learn from actual people. There's so many times that programs are created about us, without us, and they don't work. They've got ableism in it. They've got things that are just not even age appropriate a lot of times. So we really encourage people to come learn from us. We will help you through it. We will help you create programs. We will help you be able to be a service provider for folks with disabilities. But you've got to learn from the actual community. There's no textbook. There's no class in college that you can take where you really, truly understand disability.
That's important. I know, again, we work with families and parents, and so we want that feedback, and so we can improve and help them improve. And so it's a cycle that we always continuously are cycling through.
Absolutely. And people, they recognize when they need help too. Like, we train doctors and residents to understand the disability world, because sometimes doctors can be the worst, because they might tell a parent or tell somebody that they can't be independent, but they can.
Right.
And so it might look different from non-disabled people, how non-disabled people are independent, but there's a way to do anything, and you just have to do it differently. Yeah.
And one size doesn't fit all.
Correct.
I was trying to think. So you mentioned earlier fee for services. So before we close, so everything you do, is it a sliding scale, or?
So our services to people are 100% free.
Okay.
It's the businesses that we charge.
Okay.
We got to get that funding too.
Yep.
But we actually do architectural accessibility assessments. So we make sure that the actual site that you're looking at is accessible and accommodating for people with disabilities. We'll do policy and procedures. We do keynote speaking. We do trainings. You name it. We also do website assessments, but it's the law to make sure that your website is accessible, especially when it's public, using public funding. And so we actually have a team that goes in and looks at your website, and it's users and non-users, so people who are blind and people who are not blind, that go in to make sure that your website is fully accessible for people with all types of different disabilities, but particularly people who are blind.
Interesting. As I think about our website.
I know everybody goes, oh, I don't know if our website's accessible. So yeah, you'll have to.
We'll be finding out.
I know, right? We'll be checking it out.
Oh, well, Kimberly, I appreciate you being here with us today. I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate the team. I know the Able South Carolina team here in Greenville is very active.
Very active.
And I appreciate that about them. And it's always great to see. And, you know, your team here gives out hugs and smiles just like everybody else does. And so it's always great to be around y'all.
Yeah,
and so I appreciate you being here today.
Absolutely.
And appreciate what you and your team are able to do for our communities in South Carolina.
Thank you. We all have to work together.
Absolutely.
So appreciate you guys too.
Thank you. Well, that's another episode of our podcast at Just Say Something. I appreciate you being here with us today. And until next time, we will see you then. Take care and stay safe.